What's up, y'all? Wasn't sure if I was going to do a live tonight. I'd absolutely be late notice. Hunter, Will, Colleen, what's happening, Wolfpack? It's been one of them days, which is, it's always one of them days. Always with me. Fox can fix it. What's up? Oh, let me see. Let me see. And paste and go. Been getting home so late I can't even work on my damn cars. Yeah. Yeah, Buff. Sure. I'm so tired I probably forget that, I'm I'm supposed to not cuss so much. I was gonna have a big thing, you know, gentlemen. I was gonna like do a giveaway and all that, but truck driving kind of steered me the other way.
What are we giving away?
Oh, I got a bunch of super clean stuff.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got a contest I'm thinking up. Kind of told Brennan about it a little bit.
Stand by. I'll be back.
Thanks for the warning.
Uh-oh. He left his headphones.
He did.
Echo.
Hello, Iron Duke. That is an awesome engine, by the way. I got nothing bad to say about an Iron Duke at all. They're just good motors. Had a bunch of them actually. Can't blow them up. I've come close, but I can't. Yeah, you probably had to pee.
I don't know if I've ever had one. Just trying to think now. I don't think I've ever had an Iron Duke.
Well, if you had the four deck back in the day, what were them called? The ones in the little Pontiacs and the like the Pontiac 6000 that had the 4-cylinder, all that crap.
Oh, yeah.
Same difference. I mean, it's basically the same motor.
Woo.
What are you carrying around?
You know you're special when you come home and you find a box. Can you guys see this?
Yeah, we can see it. Poppy's patina.
I got the big sticker. And I
Ooh.
got a special letter. Look, it's like got a wax thingy on it. And oh my goodness. They sent me, not kidding, a bag of rags.
Nice.
And then not one, right? Not two, but 3 bags full of goodies. Plus all these things. I assume these are applicators for the product.
Yep, you use that to put the stuff on.
Well, you know what, Buff? All your cars will look pretty before they get crushed then.
Exactly. We're going to make these the prettiest. These are going to be the prettiest crushed cars you ever saw. So I asked for, well, they actually came to me in Norman, Oklahoma. I did not ask. They came to me, and they weren't even the sponsor of the show in Norman. Sweet Patina, they were actually the sponsor of the show. So I thought that was kind of, ballsy that they showed up. The competitor to Sweet Patina showed up and found me, and I started talking about my car, and they said, "Oh, we know your car. That's one of the reasons why we're here. We're gonna sponsor your car." But
Poppy's is original.
Correct. They sent cool stickers. Converts money into noise. No airbags. We die like real men.
I like that one.
Don't worry, I zip tied it. So I'll tell you what, if we're giving stuff away, I would thank Poppy's Patina for their sponsorship by maybe giving away some stickers. I'm a little cooler. Shiny paint causes stress. I'm telling you, this one's me. It makes me literally itch, like I'm allergic to shiny paint.
I like both. I like my shiny paint, and I like my...
I have nothing wrong with shiny paint, but I would definitely be worried if I had something with shiny paint. The van will be shiny, but if you haven't seen, old Dalton uses tractor paint in Pole Barn Garage. Van Sickle picked up his posts and has shared it. So he's on the radar with Van Sickle tractor paint. So I've now started blasting their social media with Vantana, saying Vantana needs a Van Sickle tractor paint job. And we'll see if we can get a little something out of that.
I've actually talked to both of the patina, we'll say, Sweet and Poppies. And actually, a friend of mine, freaking aunt, a friend of mine wanted me to get a hold of Poppies because of the ambulance and now the Cutlass, because I got some stuff that's going to be going on with it. And I don't know. I haven't really decided. I can tell you this: it was nicer talking to the Poppies guys than it was the Sweet Patina guys.
So turns out I actually went to school with one of the Poppies guys, the one that showed up.
Yeah.
In Norman, Oklahoma. And in my quest to find the new home for Bus Garage, they're one of the folks that said, if you come down this way in Oklahoma, which is where Poppies is at, we'll hook you up. So there's a huge motorsports just culture down there. They've got race tracks, they've got off-road tracks, they got drag racing, circle track, dirt track. They got it all. And it's not that I'm stuck on that because Missouri's awesome. I mean, no offense, I'm not going to Illinois. I know somebody posted that.
Yeah, don't come here.
I'm not doing that. And I'm not changing my name to Pole Buff Garage because I don't really want a pole barn. I want a big shop with a CNC. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that either.
So
I feel like I will be hitting the big time if I get a tire machine. If I can do that, I feel like I have won.
So have you bought any more time on this whole situation? Were you able to resolve it to a point where you got some time to deal with this, or what?
What's up, Eric?
Well, I don't want to give it all away because it's coming up, right?
Oh, okay.
But obviously 10 days has elapsed. And what I can say is I've had a discussion. The police chief is a fan. He watches my channel. But he said he can't make exceptions for everybody.
Yeah.
And therefore, he says, I will help you get them all registered and tagged. And I said, you're going to help take my money is what you're saying.
Yeah, of course.
And I said, I'm not willing to do that. Like, not all the vehicles needed tagged and registered. Some of them were, but they've not been driven lately. So they're saying that they should be moving and driving. I'm like, well, then I'll fire it up and move it 10 feet. Like, that's really where we're at. No one's complaining. They just did a springtime roundup and they went to all the properties and went, there's a car, there's a car, there's a car, there's a car. There's literally a guy that lives right here and he's got 4 cars out front. Very, very nice cars. None of them tagged. I said, did he get a notice? Well, no. I'm not saying go give him a notice because I don't want one either, but I think it's crap you do this one and not that one. So at the end of the day, they had the rules in place. I understood what the rules were. They changed the rules. I'm sure they posted it that said, hey, we want your feedback, right? That's what they're supposed to do. It's a public entity. I didn't get that memo that day because I wasn't paying attention, and I should have, but I wasn't. And so they passed it, and it went from you can keep your cars and you can tarp them to now fence or tagged and insured.
Now, does it specify the type of fence? Like, does it have to be a privacy fence, or it could be any?
They
fence?
want it hidden from view.
Yeah. That's
so,
right.
like, I've heard people say, "Well, put up a chain link fence, put up a snow fence, put up, all these different things." One guy said, "Get an 8-foot panel just in front of the car." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's not going to work either." I know what they want, and I've said, "Are you guys going to pay for it? Is there any funding?" You're spending all this funding on going around and rounding up the cars. Are you spending any funding on actually helping people get a fence if that's what you want? Well, no. So you'll spend the money to crush the car, but you won't spend the money to save it. That's basically how it came
The thing
down.
I'm thinking about that is most places they'll just fine you for having them. If they're saying they'll crush the car,
Within 10
that's
days. No.
kind of a civil rights violation because it's not theirs to take. It's your property.
But
They
they
can
consider
fine
that
you.
it's not my property because they don't
It's
have
not-
a piece of paper and a tag
It's
that
not
says,
tagged, yeah.
and I look at it with my mindset is, but clearly I have documentation showing that they're mine. And even the
Well,
ones
it's
that
like-
are tagged, just because they're not on the road, I'm not utilizing your road. Why would I want to pay to have them on your road if I'm not putting them on the road?
I what was it? I had somebody say something like that to me about, it was the rear end guy, the guys that did my rear end in my Javelin last year, or did the rear end, the one that I had to redo the day before Power Tour, and I'm going to have to freaking redo it again.
Redo it again, yeah.
Yeah.
So
They did a good job.
they said, no, you must have messed it up when you brought it home. And I said, you realize you're talking to a YouTuber.
Do you really want to do that?
Everything. I have every second of me bringing that car home. Amber brought it home, and then I started messing with it, and I don't even have it apart yet. And you can move the wheels out 2 inches. It just go. They didn't put the spacer in between the axles on that AMC 20. There's a spacer that goes in between. They bolt in and they sit up against that. And they got a shim on the driver's side. You shim that to get your whatever. And I said, man, I got the video of all that. I said, I didn't take anything apart until after I realized, hey, shit, you know what? I got to leave in the morning for Power Tour, 2,000-mile trip, and they didn't fix the rear end. So I got I've been so busy, but I've got a whole bunch of video of me doing a bunch of little different shit to that car that I'm going to make all one great big video. And the reason is because nobody seems to give a rat's ass about that Javelin.
Which blows my mind.
Huh?
It blows my mind. That's one of my favorite ones that you have.
If you look up AMC Javelin on YouTube, you'll maybe get me and 2 others.
So it's the same thing. I have in my opinion, a beautiful 63 Grand Prix that actually got a lot of attention last year on YouTube, but this year doesn't really churn up any views. And crazy enough, a pedo van called Brian Vantana gets all the views. And everywhere I drive that stupid van, people literally stop in the parking lots and look. Or if they're walking out of the convenience store, they'll just kind of stand there and point to their buddy and make a comment. And I'm like, are you afraid I'm going to steal your children, or you just think it's a cool van?
That's what I was going to say. They got small kids with them.
I mean, I cautiously drive by schools, and I try to avoid them just in case. But yeah.
Well, it's like I've been putting out little shorts here and there, and I'll get some on 1 or 2. Put one on the Javelin, 1,000 views on a short or whatever. I put out a little thing of starting the Cutlass and revving it twice. Boom, thing blows up. There's a million of these cars out here. Why are you looking at the Cutlass? I got a friggin' Javelin. Well, I got a GS340, which most people have no idea what it is.
But people that do love that car. That's the thing. It's same with the Javi. The ones that know love the car.
Yeah.
But the ones that don't are the thousands of views you need, and they're not there.
Yeah.
Jay, you've provided me with a bunch of entertainment with being able to leave those comments.
Yeah. Everybody loves that damn Ranchero that's broke down right now too.
Well, Blanche is a moody bitch. That's all it is to it.
She's something else. You passed me on subscribers with your Vantana.
Vantana on the first round of the video got, I don't know, 350, 400, almost 500 subscribers. Holy crap. This last one,
I told you it was a good video.
1,000. Yes, and I appreciate that. Like, that meant more to me than anything. For you to stop what you're doing that day and go, that's a good video. I was like, I got allergies. Like, Make me tear
Like
up a little bit.
you got your little cuts that kind of when you're sitting on the side of the road where it looks like it's a mistake. It looks lifelike and normal. Like, oh shit, you know.
I watched 2 of my favorite YouTubers and I've learned from them. That's what I did because I got 2 people, 2 constantly hounding me. Do better. Quick cuts. Do better. And then I go hang out with them and I had the best freaking time of my life. And I was like, all right, fine. I'm just going to just do what they do. And you see the result.
Yeah.
It turned out.
You're a lot more natural. You were a lot more natural in the last video, and it was very pleasant to watch, honestly.
And you know the kicker was I've listened to these guys tell me over and over what to do. And I love that. I appreciate it. I mean, these are my people, right? But on top of that, I went back and watched some from last year, you know, pre-No Name. And I just went, oh my God, they're horrible. These are the worst videos ever. These are the ones that once I get enough views, I'm going to just be like, we're going to hide that one. We're going to hide that one. We're going to hide that one.
I don't care. I leave them up. I know
I'm
how
leaving
bad
them up
I
for
was.
now because I'm still getting views on those videos.
Yeah,
I got people still commenting on those videos.
My first one, which was awful, it's boring, but it's the one where I overhaul the Hemi in that 2014 Ram Sport or that Ram. Yeah. I don't know. It just all of a sudden started getting views, and I'm like, oh, I'll just leave it. It's like 40 some odd minutes long. People watch like 5 minutes of it, but you know, it just keeps getting views now. So I'm like, well, and I went back and watched them. God, that's boring. But
well, my last video with that GS340, it's how many views? It's getting close to 1,500 views, which for me, on a collaboration with Pole Barn and Buff, which that son bitch went through the roof. But
as it should. That was a good video.
It's a 20. How long is that? 27-minute video. That last one I put out, 26, 27 minutes. It has a 17-minute view duration.
And see, that to me is huge.
Nice.
So like when you watch your average views go from like 2 or 3 minutes to 10 minutes out of a 30-minute video, that's pretty good. Vantana video is pushing 20 minutes. And what I'm realizing is there's a few people that only watch a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Because there's so many. I got to count. I had so many comments on this last video. They had to have watched to the end to get to that. They wouldn't have been able to comment what they commented unless they watched it to the end. So I tried to make what was at the beginning and in the middle tolerable enough that they'd make it to the end.
Thanks, Will. Appreciate that.
And I may have teased in the thumbnail what the whole video would end up being, but you had to get to the end.
It turned out great. I liked the part in the parking lot doing the steering wheel. I liked the part on the side of the road because you had no gas. Like
that legit all happened. Don't even think that I faked any of that.
Oh, I don't.
The steering wheel, I happened to have grabbed it and then went on a road trip. And I thought to myself, well, I need to do a video. And I was going to wash the van again. I went, well, that's boring. I've already done it. So then I went, well, I still have that steering wheel. And I remember Jay telling me about tub of towels. So I grabbed tub of towels. And I'm like, we're going to refinish this steering wheel right here with tub of towels. And it worked really well. That stuff, I mean, I love them. And then went into
grease off your car too, by the way.
It does. I happened to have the van running around with somebody tagged it, free candy, and it went that way for a while. And believe it or not, it did not want to come off when I washed it. It still had that hint of free candy. So I grabbed a tub of towels and wiped it off. But when I walked into the store, I was like, you by any chance have they had a big sign that said free tool loaner thing. You guys have a steering wheel puller. And the poor kid behind the counter looked like he was 12, maybe weighed $1, maybe $1.10. Like he was just a stick. And he had no idea what I was asking for. So he pulls out this big laminated chart and he goes, is it on here? And the old guy comes walking around and he's like, what's he want? Steering wheel puller. He goes, oh, it's right here. Let me go get one. And he comes back just sad. He was like, I didn't have one. I was like, Okay, well, do you got anything I can use? I just need to pull the steering wheel. It'll take like a couple minutes. And he goes, well, I have one, but it's used. And we usually take a deposit and then you bring it back or you don't. Right. And I'm like, I'm literally going to go right out here and film a video. And he goes, a video? I'm like, yeah, I do YouTube. And he goes, well, can I watch? And I was like, yeah, I don't have a problem with it. It's just stay out of the shot while I'm doing it. And he was super excited. Old guy, big old gray beard. He loved it. I actually had 2 or 3 of them come out at different times to come see what I was doing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome when you can get a little support like that. That's just great.
And always, just a suggestion, if you're a YouTuber, always carry a sticker. You get pretty far with a sticker.
This is true. It's something.
You show up and you go, hey, this is my channel. Go ahead and you go visit that. And this is for your toolbox or your car. They're UV resistant. They're really good. They'll stick on your window. You could. I got a few of them. Here, give one to your grandson or your niece or your nephew. It works out.
I just ordered 500. And
I order them 100 at a time.
I still have from the ones I got before No Name Nationals, I think I still have about 100. And like we did last year, we're going to give out Hot Wheels and stuff on the route. And because Zeppy and Aiden or Amber just loves it doing that. So we got a whole bunch of Hot Wheels. O'Reilly's gave me every kind of freaking thing. I have the only 2 boxes of tire gauges in the entire country that was there, and they got them for me. I got those, Frisbees, koozies, keychains. I think that's it. And then I bought those stickers. So every time I stop, the kids usually, that's what happened last year is O'Reilly gave me a bunch of stuff. So when I stopped to give it to kids, the parents are like, oh, thank you. And, the dad and the grandpa are sitting there back there with their beer watching. I go, here you go, guys. And they're like, oh. Then they turn into kids because they got free stuff. It's like a parade. Yeah. So I was telling my people here at O'Reilly's and Eric and Melissa and everybody, they're like, oh, we'll get you them. And I walk in there the next day to get a part. I can't remember what it was. I was getting something for the Javelin. And he goes, here. And he hands me this stack of boxes, 3 foot tall, shoves them in my chest. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back. Let me run out to the car. So now we got a whole damn car full of friggin' O'Reilly's crap, Hot Wheels. And then I'll just give my stickers out while I'm there.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, Jay, your video was good too.
Absolutely.
I did see what you're talking about. The red. You could definitely see the red where it's like, well, you did what you could with it. But it wasn't bad. It looked like you had a bit of a sunburn. That's all it kind of looked like, right?
Yeah. I don't know. The camera really, really messed up. But I checked the footage that I've had since then, and it's all good.
Oh, that's good.
I don't know what happened. I lost the whole beginning of that video.
Well, yeah, and that was kind of I enjoyed that even. Hey guys, I filmed me replacing this window, but I lost it. So
yeah, that's how you do it, right there.
That's how you do it.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, actually, with today's, the stupid memory cards, and for me, GoPro is a nightmare. I flew my drone today, and sure enough, recorded the whole thing, landed the drone, nothing. It wasn't there. None of the video.
Well, the next video, I can tell you, I don't have it completely edited yet because, again, it's a little messed up, but it ain't because of the camera. It's because of my damn microphones. And it's actually a very first video. Basically, I'm doing real work on that Mustang.
I've noticed my little Snap-on, whatever brand, Chinese Dragon microphone that's on my new camera. It works really good for about 5 minutes, and then it starts acting up and cutting out. And I don't know why it's doing that. Probably because it's cheap, crappy one.
My camera has started, and I had to go through every clip in this
clip. The first few seconds,
the first little bit.
Mine does that too.
There's no sound, and that pisses me off. I had to do that every single clip in that freaking goat.
Otherwise, it gives you that snap sound and then it comes
Yep.
on.
My
It
phone
started
does the
doing
same
that.
thing, and what I've done is I snap my fingers a few times, just
You got to
like
fire
that.
it up or something.
just to kind of get it to recognize there's sound happening, and then I go talk. Now,
Every
phone-
single clip is doing it. I don't
when
know
the
why it's
phone
doing
does it, though, when I get in the editing, I can crank the sound up, and it'll be there. But then I have to start ramping it down because the sound gradually climbs up and gets louder, right?
iPhones do that.
Yes,
They're
yeah.
bad about that.
But it's the same thing. But what I've learned is if I sit there and I snap my fingers a few times just before I start talking, it usually doesn't do that. So I don't know if that's something that would help with your guys' stuff or not.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
I'll
don't
try anything at this point.
I lost me explaining putting the intake back on that Mustang. All of it. Every bit of it. My microphones quit working. My wireless mic.
Yeah.
And I catch the very, after we got together, me and Skylar putting it all basically perfectly back together. So there's going to be some talking head going on to a blank, just a video of me talking. And of course, it's just me making fun of myself completely the whole time. But I do have a video coming out on it, and then I'm just going to do one big video on the Javelin, and then I'll have a video whenever I start working on that Buick, getting that fender straightened out. But then I guess I'm going to have to start working on the Cutlass because it's got a plan now.
Oh man, Wolfpack's got a road mic. Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna have to invest, but
Well, that's what
I
I'm saying.
can't. I couldn't afford a road mic because I'm broke.
Hey,
That's
we
what
all,
I'm saving up for.
That's why I need. That's why I need to sell the house. I'm gonna lose the shop, but I'm gonna do
Literally.
it
the van.
so I can.
Yeah, but you're
have
going to lose
more
the cars
money.
before you lose the shop.
Nope, not losing the cars. I've got a plan. I've
That's
got
good.
people.
Work all those at Tony's and just put a trailer on the car you're going to work on the most behind the van and just live in the van.
I mean, the van won't pull the
Don't
trailer.
make me do
But
it,
yeah,
Jay. Don't make me do it.
I've got.
Be living in a van down by the river.
I would totally
I
live in
didn't
a van down by the river. I've kind of been living in a van down by the river. Anything to avoid this spot while I find another spot. But the truth is that, I mean, the 63 staying no matter what. I wouldn't mind
Well-
selling some of the other stuff. Like I got the 61 Galaxy. I don't really want to sell the all-wheel drive Trans Am, but I would for the right person.
Well, hey, that's a question I have for you. Have you put a for sale sign and all this stuff?
I have not. Why would I do that?
No. Here, could you put a for sale sign and all this and say, "Hey, I'm trying to sell it."
Oh, well, right now, because he's a supporter of the channel, and I've talked to him, he says he's good with working with me. Now, what that means, I don't know, but I think it means I bought a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Like he's not going to
But
come
I've-
at you with a hatchet.
He's not showing up in 10 days like he threatened to begin with. But what I've had is so many people that are not only supportive with tons of ideas. I've had people sending me videos saying, move here, like Tennessee, Missouri, different places, right? They're all saying, like Clint Street Machine did a full out YouTube video showing me why I should move to Tennessee. And I think it's awesome. And I would love to move to Tennessee. It's probably not going to happen until my kids are out of school, but
Well,
it would be great.
If I were to move out of Canada, I got a few places on my list, and Tennessee's one of them. Georgia is another, and
Even Alabama's
Arizona.
not so bad.
Yeah, and Arizona was it was on the list as well for something more western. So
I do like Arizona, except for the scorpions, because screw that.
yes,
I don't want.
that's the
I don't
problem.
even like snakes, and I have to deal with
that's
that.
a big problem I have with Arizona too. But I think I can get around some of that.
Okay,
maybe.
there's a guy right there. Jay knows Tony.
Hey, Matt.
Tony's got a shop. Now, I don't think Tony has enough room in his shop because he's got some really cool stuff in his shop to put all my stuff, but I'm sure he would show up with a trailer tomorrow if I asked him to. Well, except he probably has to work. But if I needed him, I think Tony would be there in a heartbeat with a trailer and help me load stuff. And that's why I love this YouTube community, because there's really good people out there. And he makes really good food.
Hey, I'm sitting with two of them right now.
Yep.
And there's a whole bunch more in the chat. So,
Will, how much for the Galaxy? Man, I don't know. I haven't picked it up yet. I don't know. Well, I know I've got to give Dalton back the rims, but he said he'd give me another set of rims for it. But it has no interior, no steering wheel, no engine, no drivetrain. I'm thinking, is it worth $500? It's got glass. It's got metal. Like, it's a 2-door. It's on one of my videos. Well, it's on the video when I got Vantana and then ended up with you, Jay, and Dalton at his place. I lumped it in at the very end of that video. So I guess, Will, I could do 500, but I'm not delivering it.
Will's pretty far away.
Yeah, Montana. Well, you know, come enjoy the humidity of Kansas and come pick you up a Galaxy. I'll sell it to you.
So
oh no. So Wolfpack says, do I have any MGBs? No, but I have an MG Midget 74 round fender, but I inherited it. So it'd really be hard to give that one away because it's my dad's, but it is MG Midget round fender, which is apparently a big deal. Wheel wells are rounded versus the squares. Anyway.
I was going to do work on. Well, I'm gonna have 3 freaking projects going at once now because I decided to do what I'm doing with the Cutlass, and the Cutlass needs to be done because obviously I figured out that it's going to bring me views, and what I'm doing with the Cutlass is really going to bring me views. Let's just say it's 455 olds against 5 Pontiac.
Tunnel rim. Just saying.
I vote for the Pontiac.
It's getting a full suspension upgrade.
I like them both.
Roll cage. And it's getting a lot of upgrades. And then there's going to be a little bit of a drive off to see what both of them can do. We'll just say that. And it ain't set in stone yet, but I've been talking to somebody who we've already been talking about, who's doing a suspension upgrade to a 72 Le Mans, and I'm doing an upgrade to a 72 Cutlass, both 455s, both 400 turbo transmission, both the BOP GM rear end.
And you know what's in that other trans.
Yeah.
We put it in.
Yeah.
I will gladly unhook the modulator valve thing.
Yeah, so that was another thing. You know how the thing was shipping at 4,000? He got it and sent me a video, and the goddamn modulator valve come unplugged from the carb.
Yeah, I saw that.
He was all worried about it. He's like, God damn it.
Isn't that the one that we thought was going to come undone underneath? Was that the car or was it the goat?
No, it was the goat.
Okay, and so, but it was at the carb.
It came off 3 places. It came off the trans, it came off the line, the metal line came out, and then I guess when we hooked it up, it come off the damn carburetor. So that would explain why we were choking to death on fumes.
I figured it.
Jay, where are those out of?
Oh,
I can't see it. Hold on.
Zoom.
I'm looking. The seat, those are freaking, those are Cutlass seats.
Yep. Those are out of the 69 Cutlass convertible I'm working on.
Yeah, I need a new set of seats. I got crappy seats, but
I'll
put the roll cage in mine. Mine's going to have a roll cage and race seats because I plan on just treating this thing like the redhead stepchild. By the way, this is the car that I have that nobody else is allowed to drive but me. She's already – I do kind of have an advantage, though. My motor's a little bit more built than his. That's my advantage. But believe it or not, my frame's in better shape than his.
Yeah, I gotta say, after seeing the goat and then seeing the Le Mans, I was shocked to see the goat was in better shape than the Le Mans. The Le Mans has been jumped a time or two.
The Cutlass is in about the same shape as the goat.
Well, that's not bad.
No.
Other than self-tappers, it was in good shape.
The difference between me, the Cutlass and the goat, besides the bullet holes,
right,
is all my holes are filled with spray foam, so I don't get all the fumes. And I have a back glass and side glass, rear glass, not full independent, but I'm going to upgrade the front suspension and probably the rear. It don't have a sway bar in the back. It's going to get all that. It's going to get different wheels, different tires. It's going to be a process. It may not happen this year. It may be a next spring, summer, but I got to start on it because, like I said, I already promised I'd have a ambulance on the road this summer, a goddamn C10 on the road this summer. Scott Zeppi wants to take the Cutlass to No Name Nationals. That's what he wants to take.
That's cool. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to answer Wolfpack. No, my MG has chrome bumpers all the way around, not the plastic ones. This was the one before the plastic ones. And it's got a new paint job done by hand by my father before he passed away. So that's why I'm not ready to get rid of it. Oh.
So that's the Cutlass, yeah. Have you
69?
Yeah, that's a 69.
Yeah.
And you kind of look behind it. If you can make that out, that's the 69 Firebird we're also working on.
Well, I wish I had a fancy shop.
Yeah, me too.
I want one. If you guys know of one in the tri-state area, buffscrots.com.
That's not my shop. That's my buddy's shop. But
Hunter and Star Chief, telling you.
Like I said, I can't always afford my own projects, so I work on my buddy's stuff too, right? And and that's my advice to everyone else. Even if you can't afford your own stuff, if you can get out there and work on something, a friends, a buddies, whatever, do it. That's how you get your experience. That's how you learn. I mean,
that's how Tony has been huge for me, because what kind of guy just says, hey, just show up at my house and fix my stuff? Like, I mean, I'm not a great mechanic by any means. I can turn a wrench, but this guy's just like, hey, come work on my stuff. And he's been super hospitable. I mean, just an awesome guy. I feel bad because I've been touring around trying to find a new place and haven't made it back to finish the flooded car, because we're going to make it run. We're not fixing everything. We're just going to make it run, and then we can fix it later.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
I love that car.
This right here. Let me see if I can get close. Right there on the door.
Yeah.
That's actually fire damage.
You know what it kind of looks like from this? It looks like a witch riding a broom.
Yeah.
That's a nice car, Jay. I like it.
It's such a pile, but she's my baby. And it's like people like, hey, let me drive the Cutlass. No.
No.
Amber had to move that car once, and it's got a TCM shifter in it with the lock where you got to pull it up, and you can only go to drive. If you go to neutral, you can't pull it up and go to reverse. You have to go back to drive, pick up the lock, and then go to reverse. And it's a ratchet, but you got to pick up that lock to go. And if you're not in drive when you do it, you can't go into reverse. She called me, and this goddamn car, I can't get it to freaking shift and all this. I said, what car? Because she had to move it for something, to get something out. I think it was blocking her Jeep in or something like that. And I said, what car are you in? This goddamn Cutlass. I said, get out of my goddamn Cutlass. What are you doing? You're going to take off in that thing? And I could hear her running. I'm like, I'm in like Chicago or something. I said, you're dead. Your dad, I'm going to come get you. And I said, pull it back to drive, pick up on the lock, and go to reverse. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I said, good. Don't ever try to drive my car again. You won't have that problem. And yeah, she don't like that car at all. Plus the seats are basically all the way on the floor. So it's, you know, she's trying to drive it like that. She's only 5'2". Hell, Zeppy, I went and picked him up in that car. He was out. Amber had a retirement party yesterday for a teacher. So she took Zeppy because I didn't get home. I ain't been getting home till 7, 8 o'clock at night. So I went to go pick up Zeppelin, and he got in it, and the dash is like right here. Poor kid, he's just sitting in the seats. I can't see anything. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to work on that one a little bit too, but I want to continue driving that one while I'm working on it. I'm not going to let it sit. And the only thing I need to do to Blanche is put a rear transmission in it. And this weekend, I got a C6 for it. I'm going to bring that up there. I have to figure out something with the shifter, though, because it's cable operated off the column. And I have to find a cable for the damn C6 because it's a different hookup than the FMX.
So it has.
No, I was going to mention.
You're putting a C6 in it?
What's that?
It has an FMX and you're putting a C6 in it? Is that okay?
Everything matches up, believe it or not. If you do a C4, it's different. Yeah. But the mount, I'll have to change the drive shaft. But I have the drive shaft. Came out of a Torino. It's the same length.
Cool.
So I ain't too worried about that.
Who was that? That was Wolfpack. Told me that I should get that MG running. So I brought it home from my dad's a couple of years ago before I parked it. And it hadn't run in over 20 years that he owned it. It wasn't happy.
Don't sound very happy.
Nope. I might have put a little bit too much fuel to it.
Huh.
But it fired off.
Wow.
20 plus years later, it fired off.
Nice.
The problem is, who can find tires for that thing? 13. I've only got 3 wheels that match. The 4th one is the spare. Don't know where the 4th wheel went. And all the tires are garbage. And all 2 of the wheels are locked up, or the brakes are locked up. Typical. Fuel pump doesn't work.
Yeah, good luck on the rear brakes on those.
I mean, I can get them from the company in Britain that sells them, but I don't have $500,000 to get them shipped here. So,
yeah, my brother-in-law had an MGB.
Yep.
And they lived across the street from me for a long time, and he had it, and he's like, I can't get these brakes to do. I said, well, I'll come over and I'll help you with it. I got about 20 minutes into it. I said, yeah, I can't help you with this.
Two things. Number one, yes, it's original carbs that came with the car. Like, this car had been sitting forever, and my dad was a mechanic and a body man, and the thing he liked to do was paint cars. So the one thing he did do is he stripped the interior, painted the entire car, and there it sat. And he passed away before he ever got to finish it. And then 38 POS says, what size tires? There's some kind of weird British metric 13s, I think. I mean, I could find trailer tires all day long that'll fit, but really, should you run trailer tires on them?
Probably not.
Probably not.
It's an eBay.
And there's like one company that makes a retrofit kit to put 15-inch rims on there, but then you have clearance issues, and it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
At this point, it's sitting until I have time to do the proper. I mean, I'm not going to swap the engine. I'm going to leave the engine in it because it does run.
Hell, those things are pretty simple to build.
I really think it would be not difficult if I could find all the parts.
They're not. There's companies here in America that make parts for them. Because there's tons and tons of them here. So
eBay's got stuff like crazy, and you can get a Weber carb system for it. And apparently that adds a lot of horsepower, and it's of course easy to work on.
Same Weber system that's on our Wrangler out here.
Speaking of, Amber, want to get rid of one of those Jeeps?
Nope.
Okay, thought I'd ask. I gotta ask.
Now
I definitely feel like the city PD wants me to get one more car for the yard.
well, the red Jeep it's garbage.
The Ecto.
This is its last hurrah. The freaking back seat don't even hold down. I'm gonna put a strap, a chain, or something from one side of the tub to the other side of the tub in the back to hold it in.
Yep.
And then the frame is bent. It's just a mess. So that's my winter project, is swap everything to one of the black Jeeps. I don't know which one yet. Aiden don't drive the Wrangler that we got, and because it's a stick, and he just, I don't know, don't want to go learn it. And I'm not going to sit and teach somebody 25 times. I mean, it's his prerogative. If you don't want to drive it, you don't drive it. So I thought
will drive it. I'm just saying.
That Wrangler with the upgraded suspension in it already, and just lift it up 2 or 3 inches and good to go. It's in great shape. Got basically a brand new Jeep with a V8 automatic, you know.
Yep.
And then
see, I think that sounds like a pretty good little setup right there.
Let's not forget I got a freaking J10. I keep forgetting.
Oh,
I got that back
yeah.
there.
And that one's not going away either, is it?
No.
Yeah. So you're like me. You don't want to get rid of anything, and I respect that. But if there's a Jeep-related vehicle that's not a Cherokee that you want to just let go, I know a guy.
Yeah.
Because no matter where I end up, no matter where my shop is, I feel like I'm going to have to get a place on this lake. I keep going to visit this lake. I don't want to give it all away right now, but I keep going to visit, and I'm telling you, I just feel like I come home every time I see this place. And wouldn't it be great to have a little Jeep that I could just hook my boat up and roll down and back it in the boat into the thing and then drive my Jeep off? Like, it would be a nice little setup.
We used to do that with Amber. We had a Pontiac Torrent GXP.
Yep. Yeah.
And I had a 19-foot roundabout with a V8, Ford V8 in it. We'd take it to the lake with that thing. It had a tow hitch on it. It was all-wheel drive, so we could back her down in, and she'd pull it out, because at that time my truck was a stick, so she didn't want to mess with it. But we used to tow boat around with that, lawnmowers, side-by-sides.
Because we're not talking on the highway. I would have it in that little area that I keep going to visit. They've got storage and stuff, and I could just go pop the boat out and drop it in and go do my thing, and then come back, get the Jeep, go get it back out. Now, I want to find a shop, even if it's in a town, like a commercial building or something, that I can either purchase or rent, that I can put my cars in. But then I don't know if I really want to live there. I could make it work. I got a RV. I could definitely make it work, but
yeah, I got rid of my boat. That's how I got Javi.
I mean, I got rid of my boat. That's how I got it. Well, now an ex-wife.
The funnest day was when I got my boat. The greatest day is when I got rid of the son of a bitch.
I would agree. It was a good day to get rid of it.
Usually how it works. And
I changed 3 starters in it. I mean, it was a great boat when it worked. It worked, but 3 starters later, ignition system was acting up, fuel system acting up. But when it worked, it was perfect. Like, how does that go? 60% of the time, it worked every time.
I put I winterized it one year. It was a Bayliner Capri.
That's what I had
with the 302 Ford Cobra, the Cobra outboard or the Cobra outdrive and all that shit. And I had it winterized, but I must not have got the petcocks tight in it, and it leaked all the crap out of it, and it froze over the winter and cracked the block and the head, or just the block, like through 2 freaking cylinders. So after I got figured out, I had a 302 out of an 89 Fox body out here with 80,000 miles on it. All I did was switch the crap over that needed to be switched, repainted it, and stuck it down in there. You want to talk about hella torque. That thing, I mean, that boat would fly. It just had a little marine 2-barrel on it, motorcraft 2-barrel. And this family had, my friend, he's a Iraq veteran. He had the Javelin. I kept bugging him. Finally, I said, I got a hold of him on Facebook. I said, look, man, what are you going to do with that Javelin? Are you going to let it sit there? He goes, no, I'm going to trade it to you for that boat you just put a motor in.
Nice.
I said,
oh, really?
We'll be up this weekend. And there was a friggin' tornado coming through. They live in like Illinois' Tornado Alley, north of me, kind of a little bit northwest of where Jeff lives. And I hauled ass up there with that boat behind my truck, dropped it off, ran home and got the car trailer. And it's like 70 miles. And Amber's like, this is crazy. I said, no, it ain't. I want to do this before he changes his damn mind. So I went down there. We couldn't figure out how to get the hood popped. Turns out they had something, the mechanics that last worked on it before he dropped it off at his house, they put something underneath the hood and slammed the hood, and it locked the hood so he couldn't get it loose. So I'd get up in there and unbolt everything. And there's a friggin' tornado, and it's raining like hell. And I got it up, and I got it home, and I had it running in 15 minutes.
Wow.
Nice.
And I sent him a video. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I said, Bill, I got it running. He goes, you shitting me? I said, no. And I sent him a video of it sitting here idling out on the trailer. What the hell? This guy was going to charge him like $3,000 to do a bunch of needed this, it needed that, needed this. No. Had a kinked fuel line.
Oh, no.
Oh, really?
I mean, you don't want to like rub it in his face, but at the same time, you're like proud that you got it going, and you show him, hey, I got it going. And then they're just like, man.
Well,
he got a boat. He's got a boat. He's fine.
The reason they traded me, because his wife, they're a boating family. They got like a dock on the lake up in Decatur, Illinois, and they got all kinds of stuff. But the crazy part was they had nitrous. This guy had nitrous on this damn car. One wheel peel, nitrous on a worn out engine.
That seems right.
They had they had a line coming from the tank going to an electric fuel pump in the front, a pusher in the front. And the line was all kinked and ran around, all screwed up, and they only had one bolt in the holder for the pump, so it was sitting cockeyed, which kinked the other line. And
perfect.
I took all that crap off, and all they had was a little T that ran fuel from one of them went to one of the solenoids for the fuel side of your nitrous, and one went to the carburetor. And that was all messed up. Number one, that's a bad idea. It's a horrible idea, even if it was running. But they had it running from the electric pump through the stock pump, then up to a T, and all this crap. So I just started going like this. I mean, it's before YouTube, so I started ripping shit out, and I ran it straight to the pump. The gas in the tank was still good. It'd been sitting for 7 years.
Wow.
So I was like, okay. It looked like it had a newer tank in it. So I hooked it up, and the carburetor was locked up. There's nothing I could do about it. So I just grabbed this old piece of crap Holly I had, stuck it on there on the old gasket, and I threw some some gas down it. She fired right up and started idling on her own gas. It was that quick, right out here.
Nice.
I got video of it happening, but then once I started looking at it, there's oil falling out of every orifice.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is bad. And then we come up with the idea, let's take this on Power Tour, Dad. So, okay. And that's when the fun began. That's when I realized I had a broken upper control arm and had like no shocks left in the front. The rear end was shot. I was like, oh, this is bad. And hey, the rear end made it. Do I think that rear end could make it another 2,000 miles? Probably. But that's all I got left. That's it. That's all I got left is that rear end. Everything else is Done.
Good, yeah.
I was going to do some paint work to get the big rust spot off the side. The hell with that. We'll just make the trip, get her home, and then start
There you
working.
go. Just clear coat it. It'll be fine.
One little spot. The rest of the car looks good. Well, it's a 20-footer.
Yeah. But it's a good looking 20-footer.
I need that stuff for my Cutlass. That'd be the cleaner.
Detail spray with ceramic.
Yeah.
Here's the wash and wax.
Yeah, that's the stuff there. That takes all the grease and.
There's the pre-cleaner. I assume that'll end up taking any. This is like a paint prep designed for cleansing the surface. So I assume this is a little deeper cleaning than the wash.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. They gave me. Okay, there it is. So this is a matte.
Yeah.
And this is a gloss. And I did not order those. When I requested it, they gave me the satin. So it's the in-between. And then it also came with a clear catalyst. Another clear catalyst.
Yeah, that's for your.
And then there's the degreaser. What's that?
Did they send you clear? Wipe
Yeah.
on clear?
Yep.
Cool.
Wipe on clear. And then I also got the matte and the gloss, and then the satin.
Cool.
That's awesome.
So I mean, I could probably do the lawnmower up pretty good.
Nice.
They send you
right.
Scotch Brite pad.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to call it a night, guys.
All right, man.
You guys have a good night.
Self.
We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
See ya. Scotch Brite, got the applicator, and this whole bag of rags.
Yeah, that's for cleaning. The application, just if you use the clear, just make sure you make it in full swoops from one spot to the other. Don't stop.
Yep.
It's
And they gave
basically-
me instructions
Yeah.
how
You
not
can
to screw it
actually
up.
go get clear, just regular clear coat, and do the same thing.
Yep. But this is fun because, sponsor. Like, I wouldn't have imagined last year something like that happening. So I'm pretty stoked.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong guy here, Will. I know what that is. I know what a AV71 is. I just drive semis. I don't deal with the engines. I fix them. I don't know anything about them though. Yeah, I'm getting to that point. I got to get up early. Zeppy's going with me to Chicago tomorrow morning. So
Yeah, I got to go to a funeral tomorrow and then work all weekend. So
yeah,
it's
I
a
got
rough day.
gig, and I got to finish the Javelin. Hopefully, I get the rear end figured out. I may just order some one-piece axles for it. I think most of the noise is the bearings, so the wheel bearings, axle bearings, whatever. Oh, that is right. I think I'm going to change the axle or the wheel bearings in the front too. I have 3 sets.
It's
2
probably time.
Well, they only got those there. The mileage on those, one has Power Tour, and one of them is only from Atlanta to home.
Right.
So I'm thinking I'm going to swap both of them and keep extras right there in the damn car with me. I don't trust it. But, hey, I do have 2 more Javelins now, so I guess I can just steal some freaking knuckles off of them. I probably might have a 79 AMX too.
Now see
Blue
if you got an extra Javelin running around that you're not gonna build. Yeah, I know. I already know the answer. But
I'm saying that because these things are parts cars. Trust me. You've seen what I put on the road.
Can you take a Javelin and put it on an old square Ford Explorer frame with some 44s on it.
Yeah,
I mean, if that's all it is a body, that would work.
I put ketchup on my hot dogs. I don't give a damn what they say in Chicago. You realize Chicago is one of the worst cities in the state of Illinois.
Really, one of the worst in America, quite frankly.
It actually ain't the most dangerous in Illinois. The most dangerous town in Illinois is called Danville. It's bad.
Yep.
It's real bad. Like, they have, this is not an exaggeration. You know them barriers you see on the interstate?
Yep.
They have those blocking off streets with basically like you would see in the military, they have a section for you guys, you know, the EMTs.
Yep.
They have a building right next to this. So after you get your ass shot up, you can run to that building.
Just meander that way. Yeah.
Yeah. And Danville's not even close to the top 10 of biggest towns in Illinois. It's bad. It's real bad. But anyway, I'm going to call it a night.
All
Y'all,
right.
thanks for stopping by. I'll get my shit together here sooner or later, but I've been so busy with trucking and all kinds of other crap. But I'll get it back together. Anyway.
It's always good to talk to you, and bye. Good night, everybody in the chat.
Yep. We'll see you.
Bye.